was locally born and brought up in Hong Kong. Currently, I'm working as a senior business solution consultant in a software company, which is called SaaS Institute. Before that, actually, I started my career as a management trainee in a commercial banks in Hong Kong, and then I kind of focused at the credit risk management departments for a couple of years. Further than that, I actually made another career move to a management consulting firm, which is, well, I can say a life-changing experience to my career path. I stayed in that management firm for about 4 years before I moved to SaaS 2 years ago. So actually, I've been working in SaaS for exactly 24 months now, because I joined in September 2018. In my career, the decision was very simple because Hong Kong, we are a monotonic industrial society. That means apart, other than finance, 90% of our GDP is contributed from the financial services sector, maybe banking, maybe insurance, or maybe professional services delivered to the financial sector. So of course, if for a simple-minded fresh graduate, I just okay, as I'm BBA major, just okay, just go to a bank then. So at the beginning, the decision was, not much options for you to choose. So it's a simple decision, honestly. So, but I'm so lucky to have a mentor. I think for every person, you've got to have mentors. And the mentors, not only do these mentors your career specific one, but you can also have other mentors for your hobbies, your family planning, and different aspects, so long as they can guide you, or even cooking mentors, right? So I'm so lucky to have a mentor who's actually CEO of a headhunter company. He's very experienced in recruiting senior management, but not from financial sector, mainly from what we call the core industries, say retail and telco industry, etc. So I call him Armstrong. Okay, Armstrong actually. His name is Armstrong. Um, Armstrong has walked through me ever since I fresh graduated from CUHK up until now. I actually seeked his comment and advice for every single career move in my last decade. So, for example, he shared with me for a commercial bank, there are basically two drivers. One is relationship manager because they actually sourcing the businesses for the commercial banks. That is business generation. And the second one is risk management. So because they basically control whether you can, you know, um, issue or approve a piece of business or loan application to that particular customer. So these are the two major departments for a commercial banks. I tried RM after that, and I realized that I'm inherently not like good relationship manager. I'm not sure about now. My people skills improved a little bit, maybe better position myself as a PB, but by that time I was a terrible PB. So soon after that, I moved to credit risk management departments. So my mentor guided me all the way. So back to the questions. Actually, I never made a rushed or not kind of rushed. Yeah, maybe rush. I never made any rush decision, not on my career path perspective. I always plan it in detail and think about different options. Well, the good thing is I've got time, right? My bosses never fired me, so I have time to look for a job. But as I've said, the challenging project is just one trigger. But before that, I always plan. Okay, actually, on the first day when I entered the consulting firm, my previous employer, I already think about when I should leave. How many years should I stay in this firm? Say maybe 2 years. Can I survive after 3 years? How about 4 years? Yeah, and actually I think about moving to another firm passing through my 2 year benchmark. Okay, 2 year benchmark is jumpy benchmark in general white collars or general white collars. So and then I thought, okay, where should I go? Should I move to another big four firm, or should I go back to in-house, or should I move to a regulators? Because I'm risk management, right? There's just like a food chain, right?
Mhm.
Upper class. It's not that complicated because I had this mention on my third year in the big four firm. So I think it's just a matter of time when I should, escalate my further to other perspectives. There's more actually. I would like to do something related to risk analytics because nowadays people are talking about big data, how to apply AI machine learning models on different aspects or different industry, maybe AI for healthcare, AI for risk management, etc. So by that time, I want to switch to focus more like at technology side related to risk management. So and this company is actually a software company. So that's why I decided to give it a try. Actually, I never dreamed about, yeah, really never dreamed about working in a IT industry in my before I joined SAS. Never in a second. But I've got my a referral, which is from my previous supervisor. He moved to SAS 1 year earlier than I do, and he referred me to this company. So yeah, things go. There's also one thing you can never plan very solidly about. Okay, what I'm gonna do in the first year, and then I move to which company. You can never plan in details. But for me, I think if I got a direction, so I want to do something in this kind of nature, and then you know the the world will plan for you. No matter you believe in God, Buddhist, or the universe, somebody will plan it for you. Just follow your heart and walk the path. Well, this company has its interesting point, and it's also, everybody has its pros and cons. There's still something which I cannot got used to, which I will never got used to it, which I know. But I still got a lot of new experience in this company. For example, yesterday, I actually tried my first webinar. I acted as the panelist for a Risk Hong Kong virtual webinar, which is very interesting experience. So it's quite interesting to keep on growing and learning, even in my almost mid 30s, early 30s. Which I think is about resilience. If you want to be more resilient, there's one thing you have to focus at. The only thing is personal growth. Because I always ask myself, I had a meditation, right? One of the steps during this meditation is about planning your day.
Mm.
Am I improving myself for today? Morning and at night, right before bed. So if you can, okay, if you can tell yourself, I'm satisfied because I at least have a little growth as compared to yesterday, and that's fine.
Mm.
So among well, I was overall, I'm fortunate that I actually did not encounter a huge failure so far in my career path in the last decade. But of course, we always have ups and downs and some challenges, right? So I did have a little challenge. Cannot say it's a very big challenge. Well, then actually, from professional perspective, I had two highly challenging projects, which were conducted in my management consulting period. So the first one was actually a huge project, which is also my first project in my last employer. We had to deploy a IFRS 9, which is an accounting standard, newly launched or effective in early 2018. So starting from 2015, we engaged this leading commercial banks in Hong Kong to complete the IFRS 9 modeling, policy changes, the internal business workflow streamlining, and even the system implementation. So it is a huge project. And I think at the peak period, we had about 10 consultants working in this project, but I would say we are always short of resources compared to the scale of this project, because the client actually had 8 subsidiaries in ASEAN. That's why the project is actually very challenging. It was a huge stress because our team had some turnover, which is a common phenomenon in this Big Four firm actually. And also we got a lot of the inquiries from different stakeholders and different departments from the clients. So it's a long working hour, highly stressed project. Well, I already forgot how I passed those 2-year period. It's altogether 2 whole year. So even by now, I try to stay away from that banking building in Central. Whenever I need to pass by, I just walk around somewhere in the other way. So I think, but this is, as I've realized, that actually the toughest moments in your life is actually the best learning opportunity. If I think back, actually, I talked to my partner, my supervisor when I left my previous employer. So it's a kind, not exactly an exit interview, but we had a deep chat before I left. So that is what his statement is. Sorry, the chat. Apologize.
Yeah.
So this toughest moment is also the steepest learning curve in your career path. So he could observe my growth over the 2 year. And well, honestly, he said, okay, for now, I think for normal or typical or even challenging clients, you can handle them well because you know how to manage your clients no matter different cultures, and you start to you are able to prospect and understand the working agenda or the hidden agenda of different people so that you can cooperate with a very highly complex organization. So this is actually, that's why I've said this is a life-changing experience. Another project is also challenging, but it's more simple in the sense that it's not this limitation. It's just too tough, which is also one of the trigger why I determined to leave this amazing firm. I actually had to complete a robust firm-wide review, which is a risk management review for a local bank. It is a small branch, not exactly a sizable commercial bank. It's a banking branch in Hong Kong. But I only got 3 months to review over 200 credit cases. Maybe let me give you more information, because in all the commercial banks in Hong Kong, particularly those deal with corporate clients, so for one deal, they probably will have a thick pack of documentation. Imagine if it's not digitized, okay? So I actually have to review the whole commercial portfolio. By that time, there are 250 plus credit cases. And we actually talked to the regulator. Can we do a sample check? And the regulator simply declined. You have to check every single credit cases. So inherently, my team of 5 people, reviewed all the cases in a systematic and efficient manner. We did have some findings. I still remember which is the moment that I felt so touched. This engagement was led by 2 partners, so you can imagine this is not a small project. One partner stayed until 1 a.m. before we submit the report to the regulator. She inherently checked every single line to proofread for us. in Big Four firms, partner is a very senior talent. So I really appreciate her help. And she honestly said, okay, your team is amazing. So she's very willing to help out. So that was the most touched moment. But it's also the moment that I almost burnt off. That's why I really made up my mind to leave this amazing firm. So, but from a career path, one is not, very dramatic, but it's just tough. This taught me a pretty good lesson is your tough work will be observable. People will observe you. They can see you how to work. Your subordinates, your seniors, and even your peers can observe you all the time. And uh, nobody can hide your credits. So that's what I learned in this case. So two little challenges I encountered in my career path so far. So for the rest, no matter how tough it, so to some people, maybe there are other tough projects I encountered, but nothing is more than these two because they actually taught me a lot. This is the thing that I learned more important than how to quantify the toughness of these projects. So to me, they are life-changing projects, which also deep, I would say embrace my CV. So it's just like a stamp. Okay, if you pass through these two challenges, Helen, you're kind of credited. The thing is, I cried. Well, I think crying is the best way and the most efficient way to, soothe your emotion. So inherently, I remember Um, I burst out one day on a Saturday weekend afternoon, and my mom knocked my door. What are you doing, girls? And then I was just non-stop crying. Oh, okay, I'm already got some tears when I think about it. So then my dad's coming. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, she's crying. Okay. You close the door. I'll come out after crying. So I just inherently cry for maybe half an hour or so, and then I kept silent because my brain is looping about the whole stress experience what I encounter. It's just like a video, YouTube playing, looping by itself. So I'll cry, but it's definitely nobody want to cry. It's everybody want to be happy, particularly in our modern culture. We have to pursue our happiness or things like that. But all the emotions have their position. Optimistic is an emotion. Pessimistic or sadness is also an emotion, and they serve the purpose. There's a reason why God or Buddhist or the universe um, provides us to feel sad and let us cry. So crying is a good way to soothe your and release your negative energy. The second thing is meditation. I actually started meditation since I was in year 2013 when I got a Buddhist. That means became a Buddhist. It was simply a breathing exercise, not very advanced technology because in meditation when a practitioner gets more advanced level there are lots of different streams of meditation, transcendence and zen meditation. I just took the most basic one by that time, just breathing in, breathing out. That became my daily practice even until now. I can't quantify how it helps me because if you really need to quantify it, I have to do an experiment, benchmark 30 days without meditation, and then conduct meditation for another 30 days. And maybe I need to fill in some questionnaires to compare my emotional status in these two periods. I never did this kind of scientific and robust experience by myself. But I think it makes me feel more calm. And of course, I'm still easily lose my temper. I think I was an inborn, what is that? the lighter. I'm an inborn lighter. If you trigger me, boom, I'm just lose my temper. Easy come, easy go. No worry, easy come, easy go. I never remember anything. I'm happy at the end of the day. So crying, meditation, and of course talk to my friend. I dare not to talk to my parents at that moment because I don't want, because probably they cannot fully understand, and also they were not able to provide me concrete comments or advice. But I talked to my ex-colleagues who's also working in risk management field, because we have common language, so they could understand my challenge. Maybe my peers were also managers because we understood the challenges of managing the 90s and the millennials generation, Generation C, right? So I will talk to my friends. But after all, when you talk to your friends, and actually they gave you feedback about, uh, and then you will realize actually everybody got the same situation. So when you are promoted to management grade or manager or middle management, everybody basically will have the same kind of general comments to our Generation Z. So, and okay, maybe these are less as tough as I imagine. So yeah, I think three methods: meditation and talk. Yeah. Speak out. You really have to speak out. You can't hide inside yourself. It's so tough. This, which is a very famous book. The rule of thumb is I am responsible for every aspect of my life, no matter what are the environment circumstances come into you. You are always responsible for your own self. And the second one is actually from the founder of Sony, Sing Do Fu. I forgot about the English name. He wrote in his bibliography in one line, which is translated to Chinese like this: 人生嘅 purpose 係為咗 escalate 你嘅 soul，為咗你嘅 personal growth 去 enhance 自己。你嚟嘅時候係冇帶任何嘢嚟嘅，你走嘅時候亦都唔帶走任何嘢，但係其實你嘅靈魂係 uplift 咗嘅。So these are the two quotes. That's what I was saying. They are my life motto.
Can you use English to say it again?
Yeah. I don't know how to translate it. So I think the ultimate purpose of our life is to uplift our soul. We come without anything and we leave without much belongings, but it doesn't mean that we did not create any value to the world. We have to uplift our personal growth, our values to the society and to our earth before our last day came. How about this?